Junior Commodores Regatta, lasers and Sabots, November 2019, November 2nd and 3rd. And this is the laser radial fleet. We have one boat in this fleet, right there, 198695, doing his second regatta of his life. He is going to be racing against kids that grew up racing Sabots. So incredible improvements. We're going to learn on the videos from looking at how they're trimming their sails. They're two blocked, the shape of their sails, so that's the purpose of the video. Björn in a club boat with a really nice brand new sail. Yeah, the good thing about sailing is you can come out with people who've been sailing for years and you can start to copy. That's the good thing about the racing. You can start to copy a little how they're hiking, what angles they're going at. He needs to go up into the wind just the tiniest bit, but that actually looks pretty good. All right, looking good here. So what we're doing right now is, he's a little slow, so he needs to go down just 1 inch. Okay, you can see how tight that guy's trimmed. So you want to look at that before you come around the gates here. You start looking at the sail trim. Yep, get it in. There we go. Race 1, Sabot A fleet. We want to watch how steady they're going here. These are some of the best A-fleeters around. These were the top 3 at Nationals in Newport, right here, 9446, 10061. Watch how steady they are. And the speed is really high. We're going to compare that to some of other races. See how high the speed is, the boat going through the water. What that does is that gets flow over your lee board. The faster you go through the water, his leech is open a little. Yep, so Pete's just gonna step back up, get to the left. Pete's a little more closed than Harrison. We're looking for 10094, Preston. 95, Tommy Rudowitz in a club boat. Bella in 9983 and Max in 9299. Preston crossed Anton, that 9446 boat. So my guess is the pin was favored a little. And there's Bella way out there on the left. I think that looks really good, actually. She's charging over there. Yeah. So halfway up the beat, I'm looking at the race committee boat, and I think the wind is coming from the right on that flag just a little. The finish line flag is blowing from our right to left. So I think these boats over here, even though we lost early on the right, I think the right is going to pay late, but we're going to have to see. Preston's got a great lane out here. It's hard to say, but I think Bella looks like she's winning the race. By no small margin either. I mean, she's a good 20 seconds ahead of anybody. Just that little bit of heel to leeward. Maybe a little too much, but you can't criticize when they're in first by a good 20 or 30, 25 seconds. Now it's evening out just a little. Here's Pete Bush. She's crossing him, I think. No, she's not. Yes, she is. It's amazing she's going quite that fast. Not said, ooh, wow, Carter Vachon, really fast guy. So she's gonna round second or third here. You came out, you can't see you, but you came out of the tack pinching a little. Come out of these heavy air tacks and actually sail. Get on the rail and sail 1 degree off the wind for a few seconds. You've got to sail, ease the main a little and go a little lower. Now the current should be helping you here. Remember what we talked about before the day. Current should be holding you up. the A fleet for you. If she came out of that with no protest, that's just absolute awesome. Because that was really hard. There's Preston coming in there. Tommy's doing okay in the club boat. C1 fleet, race 1. So goals for this regatta, 4 to 8 or 9 knots of wind. Tide's flooding, so it's going from our right to left right now. Goals for the regatta or our pre-race routine. Practicing upwind, practicing speed testing downwind, reaching up and down the starting line to start figuring out the favored end. So our pre-race routine, we're just establishing it. Next year's nationals are here. And so we'll have our pre-race routine, whatever you want it to be, we're developing it right now. This is the C1 fleet. We're looking for 9699 right there. On port tack, going out a ways. We're looking for 9959, not a good start. 9559. Taylor doesn't seem to need to start perfectly, but yeah, that looks like a very deep start. And then we have a sailor from St. Pete Yacht Club here, 10002. And you can't quite see him yet. There he is, popping out. Red numbers right up there in front of the blue boat. That's Callan from St. Pete Yacht Club. Another goal downwind is a sail with a lot of twist in the main. Downwind. Here's A Fleet first, race 1 at the gates. So he's gonna this fleet's gonna have to worry about bad air more. They're gonna have to be a little more careful in picking their lanes. They're gonna have to sail with the sail a little more powered up at times, maybe bang a little looser. Cunningham definitely looser if they're going through some bad air. There's Bella coming around right behind. This is Bella's second A Fleet regatta. Here's Preston coming around behind Anton. Very good, not too much heel, not too much heel. If you heel too much, the leeboard gets at such an angle you slide sideways too much. So a little heel to leeward. And leave the main out as you head up. Like 8938 should leave his main out as long as he can. Let the sail pull the bow up and then trim really fast like he did. C1s rounded in first. Just looks outstanding. So it's about 7 knots? Yeah, I'd say 7. She's solidly on the rail. These are pretty much on the rail conditions. There's Bella, it's Maddie going out there. Here's Preston. Gosh, Taylor right here. He looks really good. So again, it's kind of comes down. He's always only a few points out of first at the regattas, but it always comes down to not being able to find a way to start somewhere where it's not crazy. So we gotta find a way to find the holes at the starting line. You have just sailed like a champ since the leeward mark. You rounded with all of these guys. And we'll see, I think Maddie's gonna come out of there even further ahead. This is the leader in C1 from the left, and you're ahead of him. So this is a good idea. You tacked away from your pack, and they all tacked very soon after you. Okay, so now what you do is if you get a header here, you tack and go out to the ley line and tack on anybody out there that's close. If you get lifted, you just stay and you almost make the finish line up there. But we'll see what happens here. That kid actually crossed you. So now he's gonna go tack probably right on this boat. You did a good job of not tacking immediately. That guy crossed you, you just went a little ways, and then you're coming back because there's no one to your left that has a chance. Right now your whole race is on the right. Yeah, go past him. Go past him. This is working out well. I would have gone further. I don't think you're making the finish. There's Callan, 10002. His mast is raked pretty far back, actually. I think that's okay. It's windy enough that the boom will stay out downwind. I think Maddie has gained on both the purple boat and 10326. I still think she's second, but I think she's right. I think her upwind is going extremely well. You guys have just left the rest of the fleet here. Yeah, so a solid second. Solid second. Good job. I got to go talk to the A fleeters. Great first one. Well, this is the strongest A fleet we've had. This is race 2. Such good learning conditions right here. For Sabots, our goal is to get ready for Sabot Nationals, believe it or not. This is a little bit of, our game plan is geared towards those days. There's Preston looking great. The wind has gone left just a little for the day here. It's going to go back to the right. There's the other half of the A fleet. What a lot of people did is they started and immediately got on the lifted port tack. There's Tommy out there in 95. And that was the game plan. Start and then try to get on the lifted port tack, get to the right, and wait for a little right shift and come in from a pretty hard right. And that just might work, because I just don't think any of the, oh, here's Bella right here. She does look lifted a little. Okay, I'm gonna have to go here. Here's Preston, looking pretty good, but I don't think these guys look really wound. I think the late shift's gonna be coming from the right, and we will see. Take note of some of those sail numbers. And then take note of some of these sail numbers. Let's see. Bella got a second in race 2, and we do sail with more heel than anybody. And it's kind of my style a little more. I like to dig the chine in and sail with a little flatter sail in these conditions. And she does it masterfully. Here's Preston. He sails a little flatter. His style's a little different. I try to set him up a little different. Work with him on being a little flatter sailor than Bella. He needs to press down. His sail is actually luffing. He needs to press down a little. So what you do now is you pull the outhaul a tiny bit harder and you press down. See, he's, oh, there we go. There he goes. I do not have Bluetooth with him. He pressed down, he got more speed. At 125 pounds, it's a little hard to get on the rail in these conditions. So what you do is you pull the outhaul, Cunningham a tiny bit, and then that allows you to get going there, not having to pinch so much. Okay, here's Bella, Carter, and Bella again. Looks like she's probably second.